Hey guys, it's Monday. So this week's theme is my town. So we're going to show you around our hometowns and, talk about it. New York City is comprised of 5 boroughs, which are like counties, pretty much. And they are Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. So we're going to ignore pretty much all of them except for the Bronx, because that's where I live, and I don't live in more than one place. I, unlike John Green, don't have the gift of bilocation. So in the Bronx, you have the stereotype of, really bad neighborhoods, gangy, unsafe type thing. I don't live in that part of the Bronx. I live in the northern Bronx, specifically in a little Jewish town that is pretty much as safe as you can get. Yeah. In fact, I live so far north that the town I live in is the last town in New York City before you leave the city and you're in Yonkers, which is the next town up after New York City. Yeah, so I'm very far on the outskirts of the city. And in addition, the town that I live in is very suburban. So, when you picture New York City, you obviously think skyscrapers, tall buildings. I live in a house. Yeah. Even most of my friends don't live in houses. I'm pretty much the only one, I think, out of my friends that lives in a house. But yeah, so let's go outside and enjoy the rainy outdoors. Here we have the backside of the Riverdale Y, which you can see the top of a playground attached, which is currently uninhabited, seeing as it is raining and kind of gross. And then here are just some other back houses, and then we land on this housing development. Unfortunately, like a lot of places, Riverdale is in possession of lots of these giant houses, development things, that are completely useless because I think maybe one person lives in these, in one of the houses, and then the rest are uninhabited, as evidenced by a sign in that window which you cannot see. Look at the cute little doggy! To give you an idea of how terrible it is, that is up the street, and that is all the fog that prevents you from seeing and how gray the sky is. We're approaching the front entrance of the Riverdale Y, which you just saw, and we're also approaching that cloudy apartment complex Skyview. There's the Y. And then there's Skyview, which is, shrouded by a massive amount of fog and just general grossness. So now I'm walking out of the dog which I walk's apartment. I showed her earlier. She was a little cute little white dog. And I'm about to show you the view of the top of the hill of Riverdale, because I didn't mention this before, but Riverdale is a hill, and right now we're at the top where the Riverdale Y and Skyview are, and then I live at the bottom. And you'll get to see a nice view of the street going down the hill. And this isn't the main drag street there, but you'll cross the main drag street. So, wait for cars to pass, wait for cars to pass, look both ways and run. So here you can see the view down the street. See, there's the middle elementary school that I attended, and that looming foggy building is the Russian embassy. And yeah, so this and then that street going perpendicular to the one that I'm walking down is the main drag street, Riverdale Avenue. So now I'm walking on Riverdale Avenue, and hopefully I'll just get to show you some of the local institutions that are a part of Riverdale. See, across the street we have the elementary school. I went there. Actually no, none of my friends went there because they went to the middle school in South Riverdale. But yeah, so I can hear a runner behind me. I'm going to put you away. So now I'm going going to walk through the little park that I used to go to all the time when I was younger, and now I have not been to in years. And you'll see that a lot of the trees and stuff surrounding this park are still in their winter disposition. That's probably not the right use of disposition, but... And see, there's the Russian embassy again! But there's the park, and of course there are no children in it since it's cold and rainy and wet. And the thing about this park was that I remember it very differently from how the children now remember it because it's been redone. And that type of thing kind of made me think about how memories can change even if they're in the same place. And now we start to see the baseball diamond, which is in terrible, terrible condition. And when I played softball, which was every year up until 8th grade, this baseball diamond had been redone, and it was really pretty, and it was the best baseball diamond ever. And now it's this terrible baseball diamond that no one cares about. And you'll see some of the awnings on the dugouts are in terrible condition, and the field is just completely ruined. But I remember back when I would play softball here, it was in fantastic condition. And even the parks are kind of losing it. And here we see the sign and the front entrance for the North Riverdale Little League home field. And there's the water fountain that everyone would fight for and dip our hats in because it would always be so hot. And there's the broken everything. But yeah, and here's an up-close view of the Russian embassy. Riverdale is a really interesting place because it's given this very odd notation of being a Jew neighborhood, which quite frankly it is. But it's also, if you look at its surrounding locations, it's completely opposite. But to be honest, it would probably relate more to Yonkers than it does to the rest of the Bronx. And yet here it is, in the Bronx. It's just one of those weird things that you have to think about. Is the community really defined where it is geographically, or is it defined by people who are most similar to them? So as you can see, Riverdale is really not what you'd expect from New York City, but yet here it is. Full of houses, full of community, full of people who know each other by first name and have block parties or Halloween parties. And it really makes you think, can a community really be defined by its greatest stereotype? We're actually walking down an interesting walk because we're about to pass a house that for years upon years upon years was uninhabited and was colloquially known as the haunted house. But within the past 5 years someone moved into it and now lives there. See, that's it right there, that white house. And if any of you had seen this before I told you that it used to be considered haunted, you'd never have guessed that for probably 10 plus years it was completely unlived in. But now the person renovated and now it looks great. Stupid trucks trying to destroy my video. And look, even the backyard is beautiful compared to what it used to be. So there you have it. That's Riverdale for you. I apologize for my transition fails and my disastrous attempts at being eloquent. I'm sorry. I will avoid it in the future now that I know. That's my town. Oh, today was awesome because I stayed home from school today. I wasn't feeling well. And I'm feeling much better now, so that's good. Tim, I'll see you tomorrow.